So I wanted to speak about just that really, small scale mixed farms, which means that we don't have just dairy or we don't have just pigs. Farms should be mixed, which means they have different enterprises and they all work together for the benefit of the farm and everything else that I'll tell you about as well. So small scale mixed farming, your first priority is your land. Absolutely key that you look after your land and you manage that in a sustainable way, because from that land then you get healthy crops, which follows on, you get healthy animals and you get healthy food for us as well. So if you're not looking after your land, then it's just an absolute no-no. So first thing is, second thing is, we do not use any chemicals or pesticides because we want to support wildlife and we want to support biodiversity. Another thing is that we supply our own food, and we supply as far as we possibly can. We also supply our own food for our animals as well. So we are not importing food. We know exactly what is in that food. There is no soya, there is no GM, which has already been mentioned. There's no palm oil, but the main thing is we are not importing these products which are causing deforestation and huge problems in other countries. So we try to be as self-sufficient as we possibly can. So on that line, we also provide, we use all our own waste streams. So we provide animal manures and our own fertilizer, and all that goes back onto the farm. And also with water, we collect rainwater, we set up rainwater systems, so we are not constantly using water from the mains, as little as possible anyway, because there's going to be more and more problems with water and the number of people actually using mains water without thinking about saving rainwater in the first place. So that's another thing that we do. Yes, we have trees, we have hedgerows, we have orchards, but they're all managed as part of the farm. A thing that we are really keen on is labour. We really do not like to use machinery, not on any scale at all, because we don't want to be using machinery. Obviously, we don't want to be using fuel. So we cut down on machinery, and a lot of work is done by hand, and we can create a lot more jobs that way, both in direct farming and also in the processing of food. So that's another point. And we don't sell generally through the supermarkets. There's a lot of issues with supermarkets, which I haven't time to go into, but we prefer to sell direct because you're cutting down on food miles, you're not using any plastic, you've got that relationship with your customer. It's teaching people about seasonal food, and you know, if people want to know anything, they can ask us, and it's building that relationship and working with communities, which is really key. Anything else that I can think of at the moment? I think those are the main points that I wanted to cover about mixed farms and market gardens, and what I want to see across the Northwest, because we do have fantastic land. We can grow a whole variety of products. Yes, we need the animals without a doubt. I'm a big meat and dairy eater, but I know exactly where my food comes from, and I know how it's been reared, and I know what it's been fed on, and these are the sort of things that you need to be asking when you're making your decisions as a consumer. So for example, if you go into the supermarket and you pick up your milk, what do you actually know about that milk? Well, I'm afraid you know absolutely nothing about it, because you do not have that contact with that producer. So for Lancaster, what I want, or for the Northwest, I want hundreds more small scale farms, all working together, supporting each other, selling direct into the city. You know exactly where your foods come from. You can see it when you're driving about. Definitely more trees, but as I say, trees and woodland, it needs to be done properly, not just planting them up and then forgetting about them. And hedgerows, every fence line, when you drive around, there's loads and loads of just fences, which are absolutely no good whatsoever. They all need to be planted up with hedges. So yes, and access to land is a priority, so I don't want to see any more land going to development. We need that land for our food, and there's lots and lots of people who can farm that land, and that's what I want to see happening. So I'll leave it there.
All right, thank you very much, Melanie. Melanie, Adam started by explaining what the NFU is. Do you want to explain what the Land Workers Alliance is? The
Land Workers Alliance is a union which actually only started in 2012, but it's a supportive union for anybody who works on the land, whether it's small scale or medium scale, whether they're already farmers. We support people with routes to market. We've got schemes for new entrants, people that want to learn how to farm. We've got a mentorship scheme going for people to learn that way. We also look at other programs like the seed sovereignty, because there's a big problem with seeds now, with access to organic seeds and where they're actually being grown. So yeah, it's a supportive union, and the other side of that for the members, but the other side of it is we are constantly campaigning with the government, with DEFRA, with local councils for what I've been talking about, which is what we call agroecology.